That's going to be difficult.
All right, let's stay out west. And last night, this is befuddling because the Angels, they hit 7 home runs, 2 of them by Shohei Ohtani. And now, listen, we know the Angels did a lot of selling there during the trade deadline. What can you tell us about his future with the team?
So after this season, because Ohtani's eligible for free agency after 2023, the Angels are going to approach him about a contract extension that probably will start with an annual salary of $50 million. But I got to tell you, speaking with executives with other teams, they believe Ohtani will not sign with the Angels. They believe that he's going to get to free agency. And so this winter will be the first time when the Angels will have to seriously consider trading Ohtani. I think if they struggle next year, it either happens midsummer. If they don't trade him this winter, one way or the other, I don't think Ohtani is going to get through 2023 with the Angels.
Yeah, it's got to be befuddling to him that he continues to pitch well, hit well, and this team just continues to lose. Buster Olney, Buster Bust, thank you, man.
That means you win, right? Angels the exception. The A's showed more fight. It has been just an incredibly tough season for Anaheim. Injuries, sure, but so many questions about how you change the future. Do you have answers?
It's so easy to sit here after the trade deadline and say they missed a window to do something really special for their organization. And you don't know if it comes from the owner or who it comes from, because it seems like every winter meeting we go to, they want the shiny new toy, even if it doesn't totally make sense for the organization and where they're at. It was Josh Hamilton, it's Rendon. We're moving and shaking, trying to sign these big guys, but you got to build a foundation. You could have moved Ohtani at the deadline.
They could have moved Ohtani and probably got back a bigger package than the Nationals got back. And at some point, you have to look at your organization, and it has to become evident of how you put together a consistent championship team, which has some balance. They have, if Rendon, Ohtani, and Trout are healthy, they're 3 of the top 10 players in all of baseball. But when you put them 3 in a lineup, I think they're 59 games under 500. Because at the end of the day, the game is about pitching and defense. And they have a problem with run prevention when you start to look at their offense and when you start to look at their team. They have to figure out, how are we going to get starting pitching? And they had a chance at the deadline to actually get someone from an emotional standpoint. When you get to the offseason, teams are resetting. They're trying to figure out, the free agent market is wide open. They had an opportunity. Yes, I understand the draw that Ohtani is. I understand what he brings. But you have to look at your overall roster and say, how can we put ourselves in a position to get into the postseason and have a chance? Because with the way the roster is configured right now, you're not going to re-sign Ohtani because...
Who's their young core?
They don't have one.
Joe Adell?
Part of it.
Joe Adell looks like, to me, he needs to go. Okay, so we can go on a tangent here.
Yes,
But when I got signed by the Braves, I came out of college. My first year, all I did every day at 1 o'clock was meet Paul Runge, my manager, and Rick Albert. And I charged ground balls for an hour every day because I didn't do that in college because I relied on my arm and you could stay back and boom, and then they're hitting with wood. And it was, they had a plan to get me to the big league. So when I got there, Bobby could trust me. I see Joe Adell come up and he's just like superstar looking, and he struggles to catch fly balls. His routes are not tight. Why is that stuff not on lock?
Why aren't the fundamentals?
Yeah, and when these guys come up.
When you look at championship organizations, what you're gonna find out is they have a core. We can go all the way back to the Yankees core with Jeter, Posada, Bernie, Pettit. You can go to the Phillies. You can go to the Phillies. Utley, Ron Howard, J-Ro, Victorino, Ruiz. Look at the Atlanta Braves. Albies, Acuna, the group of players that have been developed by the organization that understands the organizational way. And when you look at the Angels, they're missing an organizational identity.
Yeah.
Wow. We're talking about greats in Anaheim.